The restitution order in this case is $35,100,000, not 35 million, 35,100,000. That extra $100 is in the Justice Department's own sentencing announcement, and it's there because the total is the sum of actual wire transfers, not a rounded estimate. Somebody moved money in specific amounts on specific days, and when prosecutors added it all up, the tail end didn't round off. Those wires left a Seattle startup's bank account over 12 days in April of 2022. They landed in an account controlled by the company's own chief financial officer, and most of it was converted into a cryptocurrency called TerraUSD. The company is Fabric, a Seattle-based startup in what the industry calls headless commerce. Strip the jargon away and it's back-end software that runs the checkout and inventory plumbing behind online stores. Fabric was holding a large amount of cash it wasn't spending. The person responsible for that cash was the chief financial officer, Nevin Shetty. According to the government's case laid out in the indictment returned in 2023 and in the Justice Department's own releases, the money Shetty controlled was money he knew was supposed to be held in conservative investments. That phrase is going to matter a great deal. Here's the piece most people outside finance have never had explained. Every company with real cash on hand has a treasury policy. It's a written document that answers one question: what are we allowed to do with money we're not spending this quarter? The typical answer is aggressively boring: government treasury bills, bank money market funds, certificates of deposit. Instruments where the entire point is that the number does not move. A treasury policy is a set of rules about how much risk a company has agreed in advance to take with cash that already belongs to it. Payroll runs on that cash. Separate from his job at Fabric, Shetty owned and ran a crypto venture on the side. It was called HighTower Treasury. The name is doing some work there. It sounds like a bond fund. What it actually did was operate in decentralized finance, or DeFi, which means financial products built on public blockchains with no bank or broker in the middle. According to the indictment, an account was opened for HighTower Treasury at Circle Internet Financial, a firm that handles conversions between ordinary dollars and digital tokens. So the destination was a company account. It just wasn't Fabric's company. It belonged to the person deciding where Fabric's money went. The transfers happened fast. Per the indictment, between April 1st and April 12th of 2022, Shetty directed wire transfers of Fabric funds totaling $35,100,000 into that Circle account. 12 days, that's the entire outbound sequence. Not a slow drip over quarters, not a position built up quietly across a fiscal year. In under 2 weeks, $35 million of a startup's cash left the company and landed in an account controlled by its own chief financial officer. Money the Justice Department says Shetty knew was supposed to be held in conservative investments. And once the dollars were converted, the next question stops being about banking and starts being about how a specific cryptocurrency was designed to work. For the indictment, roughly $28.8 million of it was converted into TerraUSD. TerraUSD was a stablecoin, and the word stablecoin is the hinge of this entire story. A stablecoin is a digital token designed to always be worth exactly $1. If you're a CFO looking for something to describe as conservative, that pitch writes itself. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down, it's a dollar that lives on a blockchain, and if a stablecoin holds a pile of actual dollars in a bank account behind every token it issues, that description is roughly fair. TerraUSD did not work that way. TerraUSD was algorithmic. Instead of dollars in a vault, it held its price to $1 using a trading loop with a second, freely floating token. The system let anyone swap 1 TerraUSD for $1's worth of that companion token in either direction at any time. If TerraUSD slipped to 99 cents, traders could buy it cheap, swap it for a full dollar of the other token, and pocket the difference. That buying pressure was supposed to push the price back to $1. So the peg rested on traders finding it profitable to defend rather than on reserves sitting in a bank. Which works right up until defending it stops being profitable. Some of it went further out. According to the indictment, over 8 million TerraUSD was used to acquire synthetic assets through something called the Mirror protocol. Mirror let users hold blockchain tokens that track the price of real-world stocks without owning any actual shares. No brokerage, no share certificate, no company on the other end. Just a token whose value was designed to follow a stock price. So a chunk of Fabric's treasury was now in derivative exposure, built on a protocol, denominated in a stablecoin, held in an account controlled by the CFO's own side venture. Every one of those layers depended on the layer underneath it holding its dollar. In May of 2022, TerraUSD lost its dollar peg. The trading loop that was supposed to pull the price back to a dollar ran in reverse. As TerraUSD fell, defending it meant minting enormous quantities of the companion token. That crushed the companion token's price, which made defending the peg even less profitable, which pushed TerraUSD down further. The mechanism designed to stabilize the price became the thing accelerating its collapse. The position Shetty had built with Fabric's money was rendered substantially worthless within days. That's the government's characterization. Days, roughly a month after the last wire cleared. In 2023, a federal grand jury in the Western District of Washington returned an indictment. United States versus Shetty. 4 counts of wire fraud. Wire fraud is the workhorse charge in American financial prosecutions because it doesn't require the government to prove a defendant kept the money personally. It requires a scheme to defraud and an electronic transfer in furtherance of it. Those April wires were the transfers, and this one did not end in a plea agreement. It went to trial, 9 days of it. On November 7, 2025, a jury convicted Shetty on all 4 counts of wire fraud. That distinction matters for how you should read everything in this video. Shetty did not admit to any of this. He contested it. A jury heard the evidence over 9 days and the jury found against him. So when I describe what happened to Fabric's money, I'm describing the government's case as a jury accepted it, the indictment, the Justice Department's own announcements, and the verdict. That's the record. Where the record is silent, so am I. Sentencing came on March 5, 2026. For the Justice Department's sentencing announcement, United States District Judge Aitana Lin imposed 24 months on each of the 4 counts, running concurrently, meaning they're served at the same time, not stacked. Total custodial sentence 2 years, 3 years of supervised release after that. And in order to pay $35,100,000. 2 years is a striking number next to that figure. It reflects how federal sentencing actually works. The judge weighs the guidelines, the loss amount, the defendant's history, and arguments from both sides. The dollar figure is one input among several. It is not a conversion rate. And this isn't finished. Shetty's defense publicly stated an intent to vigorously pursue an appeal, so the conviction stands as the controlling fact today with that qualifier attached. What's already settled is the shape of it. A treasury policy exists because cash a company hasn't spent yet is still payroll. The word conservative did a lot of work here because it described the label on the instrument rather than the structure underneath it. TerraUSD was engineered to be worth $1 as long as enough strangers found it profitable to make it worth $1. That's a market condition wearing the costume of a guarantee. And the restitution figure still ends in $100 because the number was never an estimate. It was a receipt.